All right, we're back. RafiChaudhry.com here with Influencer Spotlight, and today I decided to make a quick video talking to you guys a little bit about closing over the phone, something that obviously we do here at Influencer Spotlight. But I see so many people struggling with sales, and especially like how to close, sales over the phone. And so, just want to share with you guys what I've been learning about, what's working for us about sales, and a method that works well for me. So if it helps you guys, implement it. If it doesn't help, then don't implement it. Suggest other ideas. But here's what works for us. So we call it the four question close, and it's typically for high ticket sales. And I want to obviously give disclaimer out there that I'm not the inventor of this. I have not come up with this on my own. I implement this very heavily when I sell my PR packages, when I sell a consulting course that I teach. But it can work for really anything that's, I think, anywhere between $1,000 all the way up to maybe $10,000, $20,000 even, depending on the quality of the leads. So let's get started. How does this actually work? So it works only for people that have already been pre-framed. Okay, what does that mean? Meaning before you get them on the phone, before you're talking to someone, they have to have already been familiar with who you are, what you do, what your offer is, and what makes you credible. Okay, you will already have to have shown these people something that makes you credible, so that it's them wanting to talk to you and not you wanting to talk and reach out to them like a cold prospect you would. So how does this work for our particular case? Like how I run, do this is that we have a, I'll draw this out after I get a drink of water. Get thirsty a lot. So how our funnel works is we have a Facebook ad which leads people to a webinar. From the webinar, they come to my one-time offer. I call it my OTO, where they get to actually see the offer. So from there, they go, let's see, they come to my a qualifications survey, which qualifies them to make sure that they're someone that I want to work with. And then it takes them to a thank you page. Okay, and in the back end, what happens is whatever they fill out in the qualifications page, I pretty much get all of that in an Excel document that comes to me. I look at that and I go ahead and send an email out saying thank you, congratulations, you've been accepted to work with me on blah blah blah, and they get the email then, because like I said, a ton of people will come through here, a ton of people will get to this step. There will be a huge drop off here. Many people will not actually fill out go from the webinar to the one-time offer. Once they do, many people will not actually go ahead and fill out the survey either. But those people who come this far, fill out the survey, and go to the thank you page for us will actually be people that are actually seriously interested. And the only thing is that how they answer these survey questions, and if they don't answer the questions the way that we want them to, then they're probably not the right fit for us. So we try to make sure that we do a really good job with our surveys to make sure that we talk to the people that are actually going to be a fit to work with us. So the main thing is that so this is kind of like how our structure is. This is kind of how our pre-framing process works. And I wanted to show you guys this so that what I'm going to show you now makes a lot more sense. So this is the customer journey they take before they get on the phone. So who do I call on the phone? Well, I told you guys that all this service data comes to me in a Google spreadsheet, right? Here's my spreadsheet. Okay, so when I look at that spreadsheet, I look to see who are the people that actually qualify. Okay? People that qualify, I send them an email saying thank you and congratulations, you've been accepted into the 0 to 1 Consulting Accelerator program. Here's your link to go ahead and purchase the course, and blah blah blah. Here's your onboarding. So I basically send them all the onboarding information. If they purchase the program right away after my email on that same day, great, amazing. So you've done the job, good job of getting that customer in through the door. So if they don't, buy the product on that same day, what I do then is the next day I'll send them an email saying, hey, John, I noticed that you went ahead and got accepted to our program, but you haven't placed an order and gotten started yet. Did you have any questions? Here's a link to go ahead and place your order so we can get started with the consulting course and join the program. If they don't respond to my email, the very next day I'll send them a text message. So that's why on the webinar part over here, I collect their name, phone number, and email so that name, email, and phone number so I can call them later if I need to, if I can text them. So I text them and say, hey, this is Rafi, and I actually physically text, so it's not anything automated. Everything I'm showing here, all of this is manual from here on out. From the survey to when I email them, it's all me personally doing it, and I hate automation. I think that communication should be genuine, and I know there are people that automate, and that's great, but I don't want to be one of those people. I work with people. Like I said, I like the idea of being genuine and reaching out to people personally. So I send them a personalized email. I send them a personalized text saying, hey, I noticed that you haven't quite filled out. Is there any reason why you haven't done so? Is there any obstacles? Is there any questions I can answer for you? Is there anything I can do to help you make that decision to go ahead and get started today? Because each day that you wait to not go ahead and get started with the program is a day that you're missing out on, writing for this big name publication or getting your name into a big magazine. So I try to show that urgency in the text message. And if they still don't respond to me, the final thing for me is to give them a call on day 4. So day 4, I gave them a call. And on that call, basically, so I'm sorry, I forgot to mention something. In the text, I try to also give them a link to schedule a call with me. Okay, so if they schedule the call with me, then great. If they don't schedule a call, I just call them right away. Okay? So all of this step, this funnel right here that I've created works well, but sometimes it doesn't work that well because a lot of people, like I said, from the one-time offer, they don't fill out the survey, or if they fill out the survey and I send them an email, they don't respond. So in those cases, I send them a text or a call or an email, and I get them to schedule a call with me. And on a different funnel, which I didn't really show here, I don't even do any of that. There is no webinar, none of that. There's just a one-time offer. There's a landing page. There's a survey, and then from there, I basically send them straight to my Calendly, and I let them schedule a call with me. Or some of the funnels that I have, I don't even do any of that. I just have simply my landing page, and I get them straight to a call. But no matter what, it's so funny. This is the title, and I'm talking about all this. I get them on a phone call at some point, okay? And here's how my phone conversations go with a prospect. Water break. If you guys don't drink enough water, you need to start doing that because water is great and you need to be drinking it. Question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. I adopted this model from Russell Brunson and from .com Secrets. He does a really good job of explaining this, and it works really well because it gets people to understand like what they need. So question 1, I basically paint a scenario. And the idea of the first question is basically to get them to understand like where they could be, painting the future for them. So I basically begin by asking my prospect, hey, if you and I were sitting in a coffee shop and we were talking today, okay, and a year from today, let's just say we started working today, a year from today, if we're sitting in a coffee shop, what would you have liked to see that you would have liked to achieve by this time? Asking that question basically gives me an idea, a chance to understand like what are they actually trying to achieve. Most people don't really know what they want. They have no idea when they just see something that, like an ad or something that they know they want it. But this gives them a chance and you a chance to understand exactly what their actual concrete goals are. Because if you don't understand their goals, there's no point in you working with them. You won't be able to help them. They won't be able to help themselves if they don't have very specific goals and pain points they're looking to solve. So once they answered that question, my next question that I bring them to is that if you were to achieve these goals, my next question is what's keeping you What's keeping you from achieving those goals right now? You know, that again gets their mind spinning, gets them thinking, and why haven't they done it yet? What's the reason? What's going on? What's wrong with them? I asked them specifically, why haven't you been able to achieve that yet? Which gives them basically a chance to talk about their obstacles. Oh, I don't have money, or my wife doesn't think it's a good idea for me. She wants me to do something else. Or that I've tried hiring so many people and I've spent money but it didn't work. Blah, blah, blah. I tried pitching myself so I didn't get in, or the editors never responded. Whatever the situation is, they basically tell me why they haven't achieved what they wanted. Sometimes it's because, oh, I haven't started yet, or I don't know where to start. It could be all sorts of stuff, but you get an idea of what has stopped them so far, why they have come to this point where they're responding to your ad and coming to this point to have this call with you. This gives you a chance to really dig deep into their minds and basically figure out like what their problem actually is. My next question is kind of like a follow-up question, so it's still number 2. I basically asked them, what are some resources? In fact, this might as well be my third question. We can just say it's a new question. What are some resources you have that you aren't using? So basically then I asked them, what are some resources they have at their disposal right now that they're not leveraging? What are they using? What do they have? Do they have an in-house writer that they're not really giving this task to? Are they not reaching out to enough people? Are they not prioritizing the importance of this? Do they not know that they need this? Do they not have do they not have the contact information of who to reach out to? Whatever their objections are, we try to figure out like what are some resources, what are some things that they could be doing that they aren't doing to get from where they are today to where they could be in about 0 to 1 year, right? That's the first conversation we had in the coffee shop, right? What is keeping them from getting to this point where they're a year ahead of time, and why haven't they achieved it yet? And what are the resources they could be leveraging in order to get to that point? So that's pretty much the third question that I asked them, okay? And it's really the second question, to be honest with you, because if I ask that as the third question, we should call it a 5-step close. But it's very similar. Let's just say 5-step. Question number 4, I asked them, is where would they be if they overcame obstacle? So I basically asked them, if they were to overcome that said obstacle, where would they be today? Like, what would they be doing? How much money would they have made? How many publications would they have gotten themselves into? What kind of PR clients would they have, achieved? Or like, how much PR would they have gotten for themselves? Whatever the situation might be, whatever it depends. It varies from business to business. In my particular case, I want to know, like, where would they be? How many publications would they be writing for? How many different places would they be? How many magazines would they have gotten themselves mentioned in? If they're trying to start their own PR business, how many clients would they have have had by now? This again gives me a chance to understand and gives them a chance to sort of enumerate and vocalize their actual possibilities, like we talked about at the very first beginning, painting that picture. So we got this obstacles, we have the resources, and now we try to figure out, if we negate the obstacles and we bring out the resources, where could they be potentially in about a year from today? And the final question that I asked them is, do you want my help? Okay, so once they've understood that they have a pain point, that they have a future that they're going after, they have some specific goals, they have some obstacles currently in the way, and then they have certain resources to their advantage that they could be using, but they still haven't really achieved the result just yet. And I've gotten them to admit exactly where they would be if those obstacles weren't there and those resources were leveraged. The final question that remains is basically, do you need my help? Do you want me to help you with it? Because a lot of people will not need help. They may come to just to get information from you, and that's fine. You want to educate as many people as you can. But some of those people will need your help. And if they need your help, then you do a simple thing. I'm going to erase all this. Then what you do is basically you say, okay, you tell them your fee, you tell them what they're going to get, and you say, hey, I'll transfer over to you to my assistant who will take care of your payment options. So payment. And you can do that yourself, or you can send them to an assistant. For me, I use virtual assistants. I have a dedicated assistant who does all of my accounting and stuff like that. So I just send the prospect over to them, and they take care of all the payments and stuff like that. So that's it. You close them right there on the spot. They're sold, and that's really all there is to it. Now, will there be people that will not buy after this? That absolutely so, definitely so. There will be people like, there is a second question was that, do you want me to help you? If they say no, that's fine. Those are people you don't need help. If there's people like that say like, when you ask them for their obstacles, if they mention, if they mention like other people, if they start blaming other people and they're saying it's not their fault, there's nothing that they could have done better to avoid that, those are also not people you want to work with. You want to work with people who understand it's their fault, and there's some things that they could be doing today to make that next step happen and take the next step forward. So if those people aren't taking responsibility for, on their own back for why they haven't achieved X in, that they're looking to achieve, those are also not people you want to work with. So you want to narrow it down to people who are actually interested, who are actually can afford the service, who need it, who know that they're, that it's on them that they haven't achieved certain X, Y, Z, and that they're willing to put in the time. And I have some qualifications questions that I ask over here as well. But only then do you actually qualify someone. And if they are qualified, you send them straight to a checkout page, or you send them to your assistant who gives them an email with the checkout page, and you let them check out on the spot, and you start working with that client. But even if you don't work with someone, by all means, use this step. Because why? This is almost like a therapy session for people. It helps them understand who they are, what they're passionate about, what are their goals in life. And that's some of the things I ask in the first question too. There's multiple questions I ask. I ask them, what are some goals you're looking to achieve both professionally and personally? Because you have to really understand people as a person before you can, offer them a service or a product or look to solve their problem. You have to understand what are their overall objectives in life. People do things for different reasons. And if you can help them understand that, you will, at the very least, have helped this person understand who they are, what are their goals, what are they looking to achieve, what their pain points are, what their obstacles are, what their resources are, and do they need help or not. At the very least, you will have done that for that person, and you've helped him or her out, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, is that if you can help somebody out, and if this 4-step process helps that person understand and realize that, even if you don't get the sale from that, that's okay. I personally still consider that a win, because it's helped someone get from where they are today to at least visualizing what their future potentially could look like, and it encourages people to take action, and that is how you can influence people, my friends. So thank you guys again for watching. Give this 4-step process a try in your business. It may work, it may not work, but I'm telling you that it will at least help you understand your client better. It'll at least help you understand your leads, help your leads understand like what they actually want, and it'll help them sort of like work out their own problems through this little 30-minute therapy session, so that they can go out there and take action, whether it's with your help or without your help. It will at least be a catalyst for them to go out there and take some action. And that's all we want. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.